Wait till it build up a little bit. Wait till it build up a little bit. I am in an undisclosed location. I'll tell you where I'm at once my blunt is ablazing. Juice, what's happening, man? You ever remember them stories where Vicious Bob, what is it, man? Y'all remember them stories where a motherfucker was talking about girls' school? Remember motherfuckers talking about girls' school? I am in front of girls' school. A place where I spent, I did time when I was 16 years old. I'll show it to y'all after my blunt roll. It is juvie days. Like, I could look to my left right now and see Juvenile Hall. But I was tripping off a girls' school. They didn't build some extra shit on this shit to where it looked like a baby Juvenile Hall. Like you really going to do some like real time. It didn't used to look like that. It just was a center. What you got going on, Drew? Drew, don't go nowhere. Yeah. Let me twist up my Maryland skinny mini. Cause this is a first. I'm about to roll this motherfucking window up. And we about to talk Juvenile Hall days. We about to talk juvie days. I'm about to tell y'all some juvie stories early in the morning while I'm out here. Early in the morning over here on Kiefer. So, this gonna be a good one. Cause y'all gonna see my motherfucker. I never talked much about my childhood. I never talked much about my childhood shit. But I was hella bad. And I was fortunate. Like I was able to, like I didn't have to go to YA, even though I went straight from I went from juvenile hall to girls' school. That's juvenile hall. Over there. That building right there. That little bitty ass building, that's girls' school. It wasn't hella girls there, but there was girls there. But it's girls' school. So I'm gonna just start by sitting in this parking lot. What do I feel as a grown ass man? Because I remember somebody telling me like, you might not be good for you to be in Sacramento because you be having flashbacks to shit. Bring back old memories. I denied it at first, but it's true. I came over here for something entirely different. And I drove by. I was like, damn, let me look at girls' school for a minute. And one side of it looked entirely different. I can remember the first time I ever drove a stick, right? My mom came to this building and picked me up. She picked me up because my big cousin, something was going on and my family was on the news. So she came to pick me up because I was playing baseball and I slid, and I sprained my ankle, and they let her come and take me to the hospital. But when we was pulling off, she was like, drive. I'm like, drive? Right on this street, drive. I got it. First time I drove a stick, man, I damn near fucked that transmission, smooth off. Then I can remember walking my mom to the car and hugging my mom right here. Hella weekends. Hugging my mom when she come get me and drop me off and take me right there. Then I can remember when I was like 11, over here, like over there where that fence is. I don't know if y'all can see it, but where that fence is, that's where the work project buses used to meet. So we used to meet up there. All the cars be dropped off. It'd be hella buses lined up, and you get to find out who you with. And there used to be some fucked up ass they was bus driver POs or whatever you want to call them. And we used to go to the river. We used to go to Rancho. We used to go all over Sacramento and picking up trash and sweeping bike trails and shit. Going to parks and shit and sweep it up. I used to be scared because I did not want to step in no dog shit. We used to be raking our ass off. Then when it's lunchtime, we go get our peanut butter jelly sandwich and some orange juice. That orange juice to be ice cold too. I don't even know what that building is. That wasn't never there. I remember sitting in this parking lot right here, right? I got caught. I'm gonna turn myself in from ankle monitor. I didn't ran from home supervision. I didn't ran from that shit, so I got a warrant and all the shit. I just told him I turned myself in. But I remember sitting in his car, drinking some beer with my boy Azariah, looking at each other like, yeah, man, I'm gonna miss you, man. He like, I'm gonna miss you. We're in a stolen car in this parking lot. A stolen, I think it was a Firebird, golden Firebird that we ended up getting a high-speed chase with later. But we in this parking lot. We started getting drunk before I was supposed to go back to court. Because I went in, they said you gotta come back later. So as I was coming back later, I'm in the parking lot getting drunk. 16 years old. Man, look at here. Once that beer kicked in, I was like, man, fuck that shit. I was like, fuck that shit. I ain't turning myself in. So I drove my ass out this parking lot and went on a cold tear that ended me from this parking lot. They ended up with stealing an undercover police car. And then getting back in juvenile hall over here, and then I ended up getting sentenced to girls' school over here. And I had the bombest job. I had the tightest job in girls' school. Right here. Nigga, my job was every morning, it's called quarry tiles. So every morning, I used to deliver the paperwork from girls' school to juvenile hall. And and in girls' school, you got to wear your own clothes. Oh, shit. Let me roll this window up. I'm on county property. Yeah. So, man, it's too many memories all around here. This shit crazy. That's why I was like, man, that PTSD shit, maybe motherfucker can say it come from prison, but shit, this is juvenile PTSD I'm experiencing. Juvenile rapid flashbacks. But anyhow, my quarry title job, man, I used to keep fresh shit. You kept your fresh shoes and plastic in the closet. So when it come time to go do my courthouse job, I put on my freshest shit because you walking through the courtroom and there's visitors out there. Then you in the hallways. I'm walking down the hallways in juvenile hall in my street clothes. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. That was the best job there. I went from look. I remember one time, right? I had this fight with this dude. He was from Gardones. This motherfucker at this table, right? You sit at the table with your PO. Whoever your PO is, that's who it is. So we all had Mr. Trench. But all we used to do at this table is bag on each other. Every day, we bagging on each other like, but this particular day, I ain't gonna lie. This particular day, I wasn't feeling it. I was, for whatever reason, I wasn't feeling like bagging today. And the Mexican started getting off on me. He started charging on me. He started getting on me, like, and I warned him. I'm like, bruh, leave me alone. Him and his brother are at this table. They're not twins, but they're 1 year apart. But they both in girls' school too. Man, he kept on woofing, and I scooted to the edge of the chair. That'd be the warning. Like when we was kids, we used to telegraph. We didn't know, but the thing was, just get to the edge of the chair, ball your fists up, like okay. And man, he must have said something about my mama or something. And man, I must have stood up and got to blending him. Before he knew it, I stood up and was behind him, hitting him. Bing, 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 bing. He turned around. He rushed me. We fell into the trash can. But I got on his shit. So I ended up going from girls' school back to juvenile hall to the lockup unit. Straight lockup unit. I was mad in the motherfucker, but at the same time, they knew, don't fuck with me. There's something wrong with me. Don't fuck with me. So when I came back to girls' school, actually, they had weights in girls' school. So we was hitting weights and shit. So when I walked back up into juvenile hall, they didn't have weights in juvenile hall. But when I walked back up in that motherfucker, I was sitting kind of chunky. It was like, yeah, that nigga kind of swole it. Make sure they ain't tripping. I'm smoking a cigarette. After that, man, I had no more fights. In girls' school. But yeah, man. So I just figured I'd stop over, pull over, take a trip with memory lane with y'all, man, and see just how different Sacramento County has changed. When I first walked up in here at 9 years old. I walked in here at 9 years old, and then I literally graduated from juvenile hall, turned 18, and went to the county jail. Literally. So I was watching Savage Studios. That's Savage Studios. And he was breaking down how much time he had done. And I've done so much time I don't even want to include my juvenile time. That's how much time I did. So if you factor 20 years in the pen, in the pen from the county, from an adult to coming home, damn near 20 years to that system, plus at least like 4 years in this juvenile system. Add that up. That mean literally about 30 years of my life been in the system. There's a building on the other side of girls' school called, when I went, it was called the Neighborhood Alternative Center. It was called the Neighborhood Alternative Center. That's where you used to go if you was like a runaway or something. Like if you was a runaway, they sent you to there. And then like, and they even know neighborhood alternative center is the little brother to girls school. And like I was a kid, so I went to NAC. I am the only person in the history to do this crazy shit here. I like juvenile hall so much. I like juvenile hall so much when I was a kid. I tried to run away from the neighborhood alternative center and run away back to juvenile hall. I don't know. I was so young. I didn't even know how to get back to juvenile hall. I just knew it was that way. So I waited till the staff was distracted, and I hit the door because the doors don't have locks. Man, I hit that door. Bam! I was running as fast as my little legs would carry me. My little 9-year-old legs carried me. I was gone. Man, it seemed like an unreal catch up when the staff came behind me, hit the door. Bam! This is grown man stride. So this motherfucker was striking. Man, I didn't even make it to girls' school. I didn't even make it halfway to girls' school. Man, that motherfucker must have tackled me, threw my little ass over his shoulders. My little legs was kicking. They took my ass back over to NAC. They was like, young man, what's wrong with you? I didn't even know. I just said, I don't like it here. I want to go back to juvenile hall. But I know, looking back now, I know what it was. I was 9 years old and I was receiving all type of attention and shit. Man, I was so motherfucking little, the shoes didn't even fit me. I had to put on like 2 or 3 extra pair of socks for the shoes to fit me. And the pants, man, I was so little, the cuffs had to be rolled up like hella little. Like I had some thick ass cuffs. My little cuffs swung like bell bottoms because I was so little. I used to have to they used to have to modify the pants to put like some string in the motherfuckers. So then, and that was at 9. So then I remember one time I came back to juvenile hall for some stupid shit. I remember one time I got caught stealing at Mervin's. I really got caught stealing at Mervin's. People don't even remember Mervin's. I got caught stealing some jeans over there in the South area. I was like 11. They brought me here to this motherfucker, but I got picked up. I didn't get booked in then. Then like another time I got sent here when Booker, the dude from the group home stories, when he wanted to punch the Russian dude and take the bike from him. So I ended up having to come here, and that's why I got work project. That's why I had work project, because of fucking with somebody else that was trying to jack somebody for a bike. So then another time I came here, because as a result of all that, I went to a group home, right? And every so often, right? I don't know if y'all ever been to group homes and shit, but every so often something happens in your life that you just can't explain. And I named some of them, and this is another one. I just can't explain it. What happened is, man, I had went to this one particular group home, and I had ran away for like 3 days in a row. Like 3 days in a row, I was up out of here, right? It was like, we got to figure out what to do about him. So they separated me and my road dog in this group home. So that was just me. And I ain't getting along with the other kids in the group home. So I steal one of their bikes and shit. I ride that motherfucker for about 2 hours around the neighborhood. When I come back, the staff was tripping with me for whatever reason. They was tripping with me. So this is what happened. This is like a dream sequence. I don't know if y'all have ever had anything happen like this to you in your life. So anyhow, the 2 staff is walking toward me. They're like walking toward me like they're about to restrain me, because in this group home was hands-on. They was like getting on your shit and restraining you. And these 2 motherfuckers walking toward me, one of them looked like probably Longbeard, because this motherfucker had a long ass beard. He probably looked like a tall Longbeard or something. The other motherfucker looked like a regular dude, but the other dude with the long beard been like Vietnam. Man, this motherfucker, they started walking toward me. I picked up a rock, right? I threw the rock at a water meter on the side of the house. Remember, this is some trippy shit. The rock hit the side of the water meter, but the other side busted out. I can't explain that. I cannot explain that. So next thing you know, the staff, they started walking toward me, and I took off running. And I don't know what happened. All I know is I woke up on the side of the floor, like half inside and half outside the group home door. And I had a big ass knot on my head and I was crying. And I had no idea what the fuck just had happened. But it was like a dream. Like I can remember running and diving for like a window shutter and like swinging it, I guess, as hard as I could. But then after that, I don't remember nothing. I woke up on the floor with an extra head. So they actually was nice to me. These motherfuckers, they laid me on the couch and shit, gave me some blankets and some water. I ain't even knowing that the police has been called and they on their way. So I'm in the living room, right? The police come in, they like, this him? I'm like, yeah. They was like, yeah, you're under arrest for assault on a staff. I was like, what? I said, what about me? Look at my head. Look. I don't even know how it happened. Man, them motherfuckers, man, them motherfuckers took my ass to juvenile hall. And I was back up in this motherfucker. And everybody from when I was not there when I was 9 seemed to be there when I was 11 and when I was 15 and when I was 16. And it's like all the staff had watched me grow up in juvenile hall. So when people talking about, when I say I was raised in the system, that's some real shit. I don't know if you could be more raised in the system than me. Sad shit. So I just took y'all on the journey down PTSD juvenile edition. Dirty Weather. Go.